Okay, so something I'm kind of just putting off. I don't know why. I need a project, still waiting on the engine. Most of the firewall stuff is done. But I want to get as much stuff done that I can before I seal up the top skin of the fuselage. So I've run the cowl flap cable through the firewall. I figure I might as well attach this because why not? We'll get that done, and then we'll make this, get that done, and then not much left to do but put that top fuselage skin on. Oh, we'll cut some holes in it too, but that's later.
Alright, well, welcome back to Baldman Building an Airplane. I believe we could call this section part of OP62, which is the EXP-119 engine installation. Since you don't get this cowl flap with the IO390A setup, that's basically because the exit area for the 390A is a lot larger in the bottom of the cowl. On the EXP, the cowl tucks up right against the bottom skin of the fuselage. It does not do that on the 390A. The 390A has a big gap for where the exhaust comes out. So you get a ton of exit air. Anyway, yeah, this is a basic process here. You kind of do all the normal things you would do for a metal assembly. There's a couple of neat little things they have with some chafe, like anti-chafe tape, or some, something that keeps it from rubbing once you get it assembled. Speaking of assembly, this is actually pretty comical right here.
I'm going to bring you over here and share something. I could put this up on the screen in the video as well, but I just want to see this. Assemble the exit door doubler, cable brackets, and hardware as shown. Blah. There. Do that. It's a far cry from the first section we complete, where it's like, and obviously this is super simple, but it's a far cry from the step-by-step pre-assembled Cleco, match drill, countersink, disassemble, deburr, Cleco back together, and then rivet. This just says assemble, and I think that's hilarious.
That being said, I kind of want to go back to, sections 6, 7, 8, 9, and see how many times I took something apart and put it back together before assembling it. It's kind of funny. That's one of the reasons I put this stuff on YouTube. Hopefully someone else can benefit from it, but personally I like to go back occasionally and see what I did, because I'll have questions like, did I do that thing this way? Did I do that thing that way? Yeah. Or someone else will ask me, and we can go back and look at it together. This is a relatively, again, simple assembly. This is, I guess the heat vents were something that we made. It was a moving assembly. Obviously, the control surfaces are moving assemblies, but we're making something with brackets, and then it's got this thing in the middle that's got to swing back and forth to open and close. Hopefully it works as well as it's supposed to. The engine, I think all 390s have oil squirters, which means they throw oil into the cylinder walls from the crankcase. There's like these little, squirters. There's little holes in the crankcase, oil galleys that shoot some oil up onto the cylinder walls that, of course, gets scraped down when the piston comes down, but that action greatly increases oil temperature, and that's why the 390 in specific gets a cowl flap, or exit door as they call it. You need it to make sure that you're able to have enough airflow out. I mean, I guess if you put the 390A cowl on, you would also have the same effect, but you'd also have a draggier cowl. So win some, you lose some. They've decided that this exit door assembly is less drag overall, and that should be enough of what you need to, keep your oil cool, but also get the most speed possible out of this airplane. I really, yeah, I'm looking forward to what it can do in the air. So excited. As long as I can just get that damn engine. Still waiting. And this video was recorded, 4 months prior to when I'm doing this audio voiceover here. So it's July when I'm doing the audio voiceover. It'll probably release in August sometime. Still no engine. Ugh.
Almost done. We're almost done with this exit door, cowl flap, whatever you want to call it. I was putting it on temporarily here. It's down there hanging out. And I'm looking at these holes here, these 4 holes that we drilled, and realizing, well, wait a minute here. Those probably need to get nut plates. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to install the nut plates now for this. I'm going to regret it later, but that's okay. To do that, I love using this nut plate jig. If you don't have one of these, get one of these. For K1000s, which is the majority of what you use on a Vans aircraft, this is amazing if you're putting new holes for nut plates. Most of them, most of the stuff for the kit already has them set, but there's stuff like this where you need to make your own. You just get one for like a number 6 or number 8. I got the number 8 because it's pretty rare that I'm making new holes for a number 6. And even if you do have a wider hole for a number 6 screw, the nut plate arms are the same on a number 6 as a number 8. Same K1000 nut plate. This will help you build the exact spot for it. So let's use it. I like using these new tools. The way it works is it's got a pin on one side that goes through and a hole on one side. So you put the pin away for the first drill and you put it approximately where it needs to be. You know, sometimes it's easier to get your drill in there, especially if you're doing this blind. Put it perpendicular to the surface and go. Then you turn it over. Pin goes through the fresh hole you just made. And there you have it.
The one downside to that is that you really need to make sure you've got it lined up on a small piece like this, properly perpendicular to the nut plate orientation or parallel to the piece that you're attaching to. Otherwise you get a little off-centered holes. All right, one other thing is put the hardware on the cable in place and then put the door on, because there's no way you're going to get the cable through the bolt there while it's in situation or while it's attached to the door. And we're just going to safety wire the Bowden cable to the cushion clamps here to make sure that it doesn't move, because you don't want it to move and then you don't have positive control over the exit door assembly or your CHTs and oil temps.
Now, let's see if we can watch the whole thing work.
Open.
Open. Closed. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time.